I am not leading this fight as a matter of aesthetic pleasure. I am leading because somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all. I prefer to work with moderate, with rational conservatives, provided only that they do in good faith strive forward towards the light.
Standing here at the foothills of the Grand Tetons, it's hard not to think about the man who helped make this possible, Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States and one of the greatest champions of America's natural beauty. Theodore Roosevelt was born on October 27, 1858, in New York City. A sickly child with asthma, he spent much of his youth indoors, reading and studying nature. But instead of letting his illness define him, Roosevelt built himself into a symbol of strength, physically and mentally. After studying at Harvard and briefly attending law school, Roosevelt dove into politics. He became a New York assemblyman, police commissioner, and eventually the hero of the Rough Riders during the Spanish-American War. His fame launched him into the national spotlight, and by 1901, at just 42 years old, he became the youngest president in U.S. history, after the assassination of William McKinley. Roosevelt was elected in his own right in 1904, defeating Democrat Alton B. Parker by a landslide. He ran on energy, reform, and a bold vision for America's future. But Roosevelt wasn't just about politics. He loved the wild, the mountains, the forests, the open plains. During his presidency, he created the U.S. Forest Service and signed into law the protection of over 230 million acres of public land. In 1903, Roosevelt visited Yellowstone, riding on horseback, camping under the stars, and marveling at its geysers and wildlife. He called it a piece of heaven on earth. Thanks to his leadership, places like this remain protected for generations to come. To waste, to destroy our natural resources, to skin and exhaust the land instead of using it so as to increase its usefulness, will result in the undermining in the days of our children the very prosperity which we ought by right to hand down to them, amplified and developed. The nation behaves well if it treats the national resources as assets which it must turn over to the next generation increased and not impaired in value. Roosevelt once said, "There could be no greater issue than that of the conservation in this country." Over a century later, his vision still shapes the way we see and protect the wild. As I walk through Yellowstone today, I can't help but think, this is Theodore Roosevelt's America.
They're like, bro, we're literally just eating.